Well, thank you very much, everyone, for being here today. It is great to see your faces. And also thank you for giving me the opportunity to share our platform technology with you. My name is Catalina Vasquez, and I am co-founder and COO of Nanostics. And we are a clinical stage precision company with a platform technology applicable to many diseases. And our novel precision health technology uses extracellular vesicles to bring clarity to healthcare decisions.
3 rooms cost $2,000.
So if the public can please mute the microphones, that would be great because I'm hearing some conversations in the background. Thank you. But what are extracellular vesicles? So it turns out that our body has an intricate system to communicate with distant organs. So every cell at any given second is shedding little pieces of themselves, and these little pieces we call extracellular vesicles, to deliver messages to distant organs. But in addition to having the message that they intend to send, they also have as a byproduct information of the cell of origin. So for example, we can have proteins, lipids, RNA, and other molecules in the extracellular vesicles. And what we did at Nanostics was harness the power of that information to diagnose disease. And we do that by using these instruments called microflow cytometers. So we actually have a very interesting partnership with DynaLab Medical Labs, where we have our instrument there, and we have medical lab technologies running our tests. So we use biofluids from patients, and we even had healthy patients or diseased patients, and we have literally millions of these extracellular vesicles with a lot of information that we can harness. So basically we interrogate the biomarkers in these extracellular vesicles to ask, do you come from, say, for example, a prostate cancer cell? Yes, no. Is this cancer aggressive? Yes or no. Is this patient at risk of developing metastatic disease? Yes or no. So we gather, as I said before, millions and millions of pieces of data, then use machine learning to make sense of that data to ultimately predict or diagnose disease. And so we started with one of the diseases called prostate cancer. So as some of you may know, the screening and diagnosis path for prostate cancer is uncomfortable, painful, and cause unnecessary harm. So we knew since the beginning that we needed to come up with a better, new, accurate, and minimally invasive test for prostate cancer. And we set to do that in partnership with the Alberta Prostate Cancer Research Initiative. So we used a 377 participant prospective cohort to develop our Clarity DX prostate test, which is 330% more accurate than the PSA alone. And the PSA is the standard of care blood test used to screen for prostate cancer before a biopsy is done. So when we heard about these results, we were very excited. So we launched Nanostics in 2017 to further validate and commercialize this product and make it available to patients worldwide. So in 2017, we started working on a pivotal, creating all the steps to be able to start a pivotal validation clinical study in 2,800 men. So far, so we have opened the site the study in 5 sites in North America, and we're looking to open 2 additional sites in San Diego. We have recruited over 1,300 participants in this study, and we are set after our interim analysis and having so great results, we're ready to start offering this test as a laboratory developed test in North America in 2022. But prostate cancer is just an example of our products in our pipeline. We actually have a number of high-value opportunities in both sides of the company, which is the biomarker assay for disease indication, but we also have the Clarity machine learning data integration and analysis to create disease prediction models. So some examples of the tests that are further in development is the prostate cancer test that I just presented to you. We're also developing tests for bladder cancer, precision diagnostic tests for immuno-oncology, cardiac diseases, and we're also working on a number of applications for our data integration analysis arm. As you can imagine, this technology is set to transform a $1 trillion market with multiple applications, and we can discuss more in detail about this if you have further questions. Obviously, we wouldn't have been able to achieve all we have done without a fantastic team. So we have Dr. John Lewis, is our CEO, who's a serial entrepreneur, very successful with past initiatives and companies that he's leading at the moment. We have a very, very supportive board of directors and an extremely passionate and hardworking team that is doing their best to make this a reality. So we have also been very successful at raising money. So we have to date, we have raised $8.3 million, 5 of them in equity and 3.3 in non-dilutive funding. And right now are on a 2 million safe bridge round. So far we have raised $750,000, and this is to better position ourselves for our Series A, estimated to take place in 2022. And ideally, with this money, we will commercialize the ClarITDx prostate, finish the recruitment for the 2,800 participant study, obviously to obtain FDA, Health Canada approval and reimbursement, and to advance in our clinical development pipeline. And with that, I will stop and open the floor for questions.
That's great, Catalina. I think, Zach, if you could just unmute, there might be some questions that appear in the chat space as well, but I'm just wondering about combining therapeutics and diagnostics. How is that working out in terms of developing that synergy and increasing the value of your offer?
Actually, this is a great question. I actually was going to mention therapeutics in the slide deck, but because of time limitations, I left it out. But actually, extracellular vesicles are this is an emerging field. So there is a lot of discoveries happening every now and then. But there are companies that are also working on these extracellular vesicles as vehicle to deliver genomic therapies. And we're also working on that in partnership with Entos Pharmaceuticals.
Great, thanks. Any other questions from the crowd? Welcome. Just wondering what your thought is about California versus Edmonton as a place to grow a company.
I think both are great scenarios, and why not work on a hybrid model? Right, yeah, like there are great advantages working in Alberta. Alberta has been extremely generous to us, not only for philanthropy, but patient interaction. Like all these patients that we have recruited, most of them come from Alberta. We are having an international clinical study, but most patients come from Alberta. So why not leverage the benefits of both sides and take advantage of them?
I have a question, Svetlana Sapelnikova here. Are you looking into some unknown biomarkers as well, or you feel that you have some set of biomarkers which are important for disease diagnostics?
No, we actually work with novel biomarkers for each disease application.
Great, thank you. Probably we need to connect.
Definitely.
All right, I think that's all the questions we have for Catalina. So next up, I'd like to welcome Hege Levy. And if you guys have any more